Star Thrifter, and I have another video for you today. And this one is on lightning fast sales, and I mean really quick sales, especially in the clothing business. And if you've not watched any of my other videos before, a full-time reseller, and I sell on eBay and I sell on Poshmark, and we'll get right to it. I got some really interesting things to share with you. Generally, when you're selling clothing, I think they say that if it's like if you sell the clothing within like 3 months, that's considered like a fast sale. These are way faster than 3 months. Some of them were like same day, next day, and there's some other ones too that took like, maybe a week or two or a month. But anyways, we'll get right into it. If you like, you can subscribe. I just started a series on my journey to $1 million. And then also, I have a lot of other videos up on how to increase sales and thrift, with, videos where I'm showing, items that I purchased and things like that, brands to look out for. Anyways, and things that sold and, things like that. But anyhow, these are all items that has sold recently. And the first one was a Gold's Gym, and actually I had this tank top because I knew it was like vintage, and I had it. It was a men's, it was a large size, but it was Gold's Gym, and it was, obviously vintage, and it sold in 1.5 weeks for $20. The next item is a Loudmouth. If you're not familiar with Loudmouth, they're kind of like a golf brand, and this happened to be a pair of men's shorts, but it was a college pair of shorts, meaning the college print, and it was Michigan Spartans, and I was a little unsure about that, but I thought, well, college stuff does sell too. It was on one of my thrift hauls. Anyways, it took less than 1 week to sell, and it sold for $31. This next item is a night dry fit, and it was a racer back tank, and it sold, I think it says on here, I gotta put my glasses on again. It sold the same day, and I apologize, I did not write down how much that one sold for, but it was a really quick flip. And for a while there, I quit picking up some of the activewear, because it just seemed like it was kind of saturated. But you know what? I've been trying to get more inventory because I've been listing more every day, and I've been picking it up, and it's been selling. Anyways, the next one is Toad & Co. And if you're not familiar with that, it used to be called Horny Toad, and I think it's an outdoor brand. And they sell men's clothing and women's clothing. And this actually was a, let's see, it was a t-shirt, women's t-shirt, and it sold within less than 24 hours for $15. And when you're selling clothing, yeah, we all, strive for the high-end brands and, where you're making a lot of return on investment. But if you're going to really start doing this, unless you're doing just all high-end brands, but the majority of the really big sellers, they're selling a lot of the average brands too, because you have to have volume and inventory. And it makes up for a lot of your sales. Those $10 and $15 sales make up for a lot of the sales. They really do. And anyways, I've been selling lately between $100 and $300 a day. Anyways, if you could do me a favor and push a thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to leave in the comments too how much you generally sell per day too, and or if you have any questions about increasing, if you're not selling 100 or 300, you can leave that in the comments. The next one is Sunny Lay, and I really like this brand, and I think it's older, but they're usually like a pleated. They're very like a pleated look, and they're usually really colorful. And this is a long sleeve button, and that's generally the ones that I find. It was like a floral. It sold within 1 week for $15. The next one was it's Lucky brand, but it was their Venice. I'm sorry, their Venice tee, and it's men's. It was kind of like a burnout. It was a 2XL, and it sold within 2 weeks for $17.25. The next one is an Aerie, and I just started picking up this brand. I had no idea that some pieces of this brand sell, and I just started picking it up this last week. And this piece I actually picked up, it was a bathing suit bottom, and I wasn't sure, and I didn't check comps, and I ended up realizing that they don't, the bathing suit bottoms by itself didn't really sell for very much. I priced it really cheap. I generally do not price anything hardly under $10. Very few things. It's usually be 10, 15, 25, 29 is the average. And then I have high-end stuff too. I have a dress right now listed for over 200 and some dollars. But anyways, this I priced really cheap. I priced it for $5. It sold within less than 24 hours for $5. And the next one was a Free People thermal, and it was a long sleeve striped. And I wasn't sure because it had a tiny little like dot stain on it, kind of like little spot on it. It sold right away. Um, and that Aries bathing suit that I sold on the inside, it had a tiny little spot, and it still sold. But anyways, the Free People, it sold within less than a week for $15, and it was on eBay. Most of these are going to be eBay sales. And the next one was Faded Glory, but it was a plus size. I don't pick up a lot of Faded Glory, even in plus size, but this was a very nice shirt. I think it might have been on one of my hauls. It was striped. It was what's called like a popover. It was like half button, and it was long sleeved. It was really in great condition. And it ended up selling within 1 week for $14. I do charge for shipping additional for everything that I sell on eBay. I don't offer the free shipping. This next item, this is a really great thing. Chaps non-iron. Chaps non-iron, I even sold it, might be on this list, a Coldwater Creek non-iron, long sleeve button up, and they sell the non-iron, because normally I wouldn't pick up much in Coldwater Creek unless it was plus size. But this was really nice. I think it was floral. It had a flip cuff where it had the contrasting cuff and trim, and I think that might have been striped or polka dot. And it sold within 1 day for $15. That's really great. I mean, to get these sales is amazing. Like I said, they consider usually a pretty fast flip being 3 months, of having an item in your store before it sells. And these are really, that's how come I, say lightning fast sales, because these really are. The next one, this was beautiful. It was a Laura Ashley. And I only pick up some of the pieces. This is an open front cardigan blouse, and it was silk floral. It was beautiful. Sold, it took 1 week to sell, and it sold for $20. Then I sold a Lucky Brand tunic top, and it was embroidered. Some Lucky Brands sell and some don't when it comes to the top. Some sell for a little bit of money and quite quickly. Some you might sit on it for a really long time and it might not sell for very much. It just depends on the piece. And but it sold in a week and a half for $17, and we're approaching winter. And this was a tank top that was really great. Although I've been picking up a lot of tank tops lately, I've sold 3 bathing suit pieces in the last, I think, week, a little over a week, 3, and we're approaching, winter. The next one was a Michael Stars, and I wasn't really sure because I think this is part of the Anthropology line, and I just been picking up a few pieces, and I wasn't picking it up before, and it was like a one size fits all, but it was a really neat top. It was kind of like stretchy. It took 3 weeks. Somebody, I think, offered me less, or I sent an offer and it sold for $12. Some pieces do though sell for more than that. The next one was a Foxcroft. This was really nice. This Foxcroft, if you're not familiar with it, it's I usually mostly find button up long sleeve, and I think you generally want to maybe look for the larger sizes, maybe the smaller sizes. I don't know if they sell that great, but this was beautiful. It was a size 10. It was striped, and it might have been their newer style look and tag. It under 5 days, it sold for $19. Then I sold a Madewell white long sleeve button, but it was brand new with tags. I had it on Poshmark and I had it on eBay. There was a lot of attention on Poshmark, a lot of, likes and stuff like that. And there was attention in people that had liked. I sent out offers on eBay. Finally sold. It took 3 weeks because I was kind of holding out on the price. It was brand new with tags. It was it might have been a boyfriend style shirt. I don't remember for sure, but it was a long sleeve button up white. And it sold for $37.50. This was one of the bathing suit pieces. It's called Nip and Tuck, and it was a one-piece bathing suit. It took 1 week, sold for $12. I was happy. Most of these items I pay $1 for it. There's some of the pieces I do pay up for it if it's, probably that Madewell and things, and sometimes I get them at half off or whatever, and I thrift all these items at the thrift stores. The next was the fresh produce, and fresh produce, some of the pieces can really sell. This was a blue long sleeve 2XL, and it took less than 1 week to sell, and it sold for $27. It was kind of like a t-shirt material, but a little thicker, and I classified it as a stone wash because it kind of looked like that, and that was a really great price, $27. The next item was a Champion tank top with the bra built in, and I've been selling them lately with the bra built in. I wasn't sure about Champion. It sold less than 1 week for $9. Maybe I could have held out for more, but had somebody there, And that's another thing too. It's on how long you want to wait to sell items. Sometimes when there's a buyer there, you just want to take it. And you got to remind yourself that these are used clothing, most of them, unless you have brand new with tags. You know, and if you went to a garage sale, how much would you pay? You know, the next item here is a Talbot's Paisley. Well, that's kind of hard because it's a plus size. But even on like that tank top, you'd pay maybe like $1. Somebody bought it on eBay for $9 and paid for shipping, which would be like another $4 or $5. So you just got to kind of keep it in perspective. Now, yeah, you want to hold out. You know, this is, if you're doing this to make money, you know, it's a business and you want to hold out, you know, for the right amount. But also sometimes you want to keep activity in your account too. And the more sales you have, the more sales you're going to generate. You want to keep your inventory moving too. And that has to do with your click, sell-through rate and things like that. And that matters, you know, on eBay too. The next one was a Talbot Paisley 3X wrap top. Wrap tops have been selling lately. False wrap, and they're usually like a long sleeve or 3/4. I think the ones I've been selling mostly have been print, but solids would too. And even if they're not a big name brand, and even if they're not a plus size, they've been selling. This sold less than 1 week for $19. That's great. Levi's Pearl Snap, but it was a size small, and it was a plaid shirt, and I wasn't sure when I picked it up. It took 3 weeks, and I sold it for $15. The next, this surprised me because I wasn't sure about this brand. I just started picking this up too, REI, and it was a tank top in orange, and I don't think that one had the bra built in. Sold within 1 day. 1 day for $14. The next was a Dress Barn Cami, and it was it wasn't a cami, it was a Dress Barn semi-sheer long sleeve button up, and this was not a plus size, I do not think. I think it was just it was very colorful though, and it was like a semi-sheer. It was like pastel floral, but it was bright, and I think it was a large, and I took a chance because usually Dress Barn, I'll pick up a lot of it unless it's plus size. Maybe if it was a nice piece. 2 weeks it sold, and it sold for $12. I was happy with that. The next was a Coldwater Creek floral, and this was a non-iron. This is another example, 9 iron. This was a medium, and I wasn't sure because, like I said, Coldwater Creek, and it wasn't a plus size, but it was a very pretty floral. It was a very soft print. I think it was less than 1 week for $15. Great return on investment. Cachet, I like that brand. I hope I pronounced it correctly. It's Cache, and this one was just an all right piece. It wasn't like spectacular, but it was a short sleeve animal print, kind of stretchy. It seemed like material. It sold for $12, and it took 2 weeks to sell. It might have been on one of my thrift hauls. This next item, I'm pretty sure this was on one of my thrift hauls. Sundance thermal long sleeve, and it was floral. Sundance, I think, is a catalog brand, but I've sat on some of the pieces, but generally it should sell. Maybe do comps before you pay very much, but it was a thermal. And there was a tension on Posh and eBay, but it sold on eBay 2 weeks time for $39. I may have paid full price, but I might have got half off when I, paid full price. I probably paid anywhere from $2 to $5 for that, maybe. For sure under $7. $39. Great return on investment. The next one was called CRUZ, CRUZ, and I don't think that's really a brand to pick up, but this was Asian print, and it was a dress. Asian print stuff sells, and this sold, it took 2 days to sell, and it sold for $20, and I almost thought maybe I should hold out for more, but I didn't. $20, that was a great, sale, and it only took 2 days to sell. Lucky brand embroidered tank top. Oh, this is the tank top that I sold. What was the other Lucky brand? It was another tank top. Okay, and that was it might have been orange, and that was 17. This was the white one that was that sold, and it sold. It took 1 week to sell, and it sold for $15. The next one was another Toad & Co. that I was telling you about prior, and it was a short sleeve. You know what? I think I'm repeating some of these. That's what it was. I started this list a while ago when they were selling, and then I added to it. That's a repeat. Okay. We'll skip down past that. The next one was it was a RAMMY, and that brand sells. And this was silk. It's RAMMIE, and it was a short sleeve blue top. It took 1 month to sell, and it sold for $25.10. The next one was a high-end men's brand, and it's BRYONY, BIONI, and this was a polo, and it might have been a larger size. It had a spot on the tag, but not on the shirt, and I noted that. It took 1 month or 2 weeks to sell, and it sold for $60, and he left a really great feedback on that. And I actually wrapped it in two different. It was in a clear bag. Then I have some purple poly mailers I use for Poshmark, and I put it in one of those in a thank you sticker, and then I put it in an eBay bag, to really make it look nice and presentable. And yeah, that was a great sale. This next one was on one of my thrift hauls. It was Equipment is the brand. It was a long sleeve, and it had butterflies on it. It's silk, long sleeve button up, and it sold within 1 day. 1 day for $50. That was a great return on investment. However, I do have another equipment piece listed right now, and it's an animal print, but it's green. And I wasn't sure about that, and it's still listed. Not sure. That hasn't sold yet, but this one only took 1 day, and that was a really great return on investment. The next one was another long sleeve false wrap, and I can't read what I wrote. Oh, I think it's incorporated. It's International Concepts. That's not a brand I would normally really pick up, but this was a wrap top, and it was very pretty long sleeve. It sold. It took 2 weeks to sell for $14. The next one was Greg Norman, and it was which is a golf brand. It was a women's, like, I consider it like a golf shirt, but it was it was a golf shirt. I was going to say pillow, but it was sleeveless, and it zipped up. I think it was a quarter zip, and it was pink. It took 2 weeks to sell, and it sold for $18. I wasn't sure about that because I just started picking up that brand in men's, and then I happened to find, women's, and I might have a couple other women's pieces. The next one was a Torrid, and I stayed on my other videos that Torrid for a while there was really flying out the door for me. However, right now I have some more pieces, and they haven't been moving quite as fast, but this was a dress. It was very pretty floral dress, short sleeve, fit flare, V-neck, and it sold for $26.10, and it took about 1 month to sell. The next one was another Greg Norman, pink. It must have been a t-shirt, and it took 1 month to sell, and it sold for $14. Anyhow, I just wanted to run through that list with you today, and because it really is beneficial to know what brands to look for, especially if you're new at this. But even if you're not, and brands change all the time, what's selling changes all the time. Something that might have been popular a while ago is not popular now. Something that's, something that wasn't popular is popular. And you really have to stay up on it. I have learned the most by watching other resellers and brands and things like that. And then you do comps, go and check and things like that. Just check before you pay very much. Like I said, I mostly pay $1 for the stuff. Now, if somebody was selling like that Greg Norman t-shirt, and you had to pay $5 and it sold for $14, I wouldn't do that. But maybe some would, because you're actually still at least doubling, almost tripling it. So it depends on your model. Business model. I'm trying to buy it. Obviously everybody does, but the cheapest that you can. I go on the days where they have their dollar sales, but I do on days where you can get 25% off, or for senior citizen. Yeah, I get that senior citizen discount, or also they'll have a color for the week that's half off. And then at on Fridays, if you have a blue bag, anything you can fit in that blue bag is half off. And I try to pick up like some of the bigger name brands then too, or whatever can fit in there, and some of the regular stuff too. But anyhow, hopefully you've got some valuable content out of this and have enjoyed the video. And please subscribe, because then you get notifications when I have other videos that upload too. Anyways, many prosperous sales to you. Thank you.